ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम्
अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दं
मनसगोचरम्
आत्मानमखिलाधारम् आश्रये भीष्टसिद्धये
आश्रयेभीष्टसिद्धये
अर्थतोऽप्यद्वयानन्दानतीतद्वैतभानतः गुरूणाराध्यवेदान्तसारं वक्ष्ये यथामति।
गुरूणाराध्यवेदान्तसारं वक्ष्ये यथामति।
समाधिः द्विविधः सविकल्पको निर्विकल्पश्च इति। तत्र सविकल्पको नाम
तत्र सविकल्पको नाम
ज्ञातृ ज्ञान आदि विकल्पलय अनपेक्षया
ज्ञातृज्ञान
आदिविकल्पलय
अद्वितीय वस्तुनि
अद्वितीय वस्तुनि
तद् आकार आकारितायाः
आकारितायाः
चित्तवृत्तेः अवस्थानम्
चित्तवृत्तेः
अवस्थानम्
तदा
तदा
मृण्मय गजादि बाणे अपि
मृण्मय
गजादि अपि
मृद्भानवत्
मृद्भानवत्
द्वैतबाणे अपि
द्वैतबाणे अपि
अद्वैतं वस्तु भासते
अद्वैतं वस्तु भासते
तदुक्तं
तदुक्तम्
दृशिस्वरूपं गगनोपमं परम्
दृश्यस्वरूपं गगनोपमं परम्
सकृद् विभातं ध्वजमेकमक्षरम्
सकृद्विभातं ध्वजमेकमक्षरम्
अलेपकं सर्वगतं यदद्वयम्
अलेपकं सर्वगतं यदद्वयम्
तदेव चागं सततं विमुक्तमोम् इति
तदेव चाहं सततं विमुक्तमोम् इति
एतावत् पर्यन्तं सविकल्प समाधि विषये आचार्येण ग्रन्थकारेण यत् उक्तं तत् दृष्टवन्तः। इदानीं सुबोधिनी टीकां पठामः। सुबोधिनी टीका we have read up to निदिध्यासन समाधि व्युत्थान निरोध संस्कारयोः अभिभव प्रादुर्भावे सति चित्तस्य एकाग्रता परिणामः समाधिः। समाधिः कः? टीकाकार defines very nicely. Vyuthana nirodha samskara which is in the form of nirodha, chitta vritti, nirodha, restraining, or vyuthana means rising and regulation. Vyuthana, rising of thoughts. Vyuthana samskara, nirodha samskara. There are samskaras, there are some thoughts which rises. There are some thoughts which we don't want them to rise. We do nirodha, regulate. Now both abhivava pradurbhave sati. When both are abhibhava, overwhelmed, overpowered, when there is a manifestation of the overpowering of both these sati, then the chittasya ekagrata, the focus, the one point end of the mind, the focus, chitta ekagrata, the parinama, the change, the effect of the chitta in the form of ekagrata, that is called samadhi. Because either we are in nirodha samskara or vyuthana samskara, but now both are overwhelmed by chitta ekagrata. There is only one thought, one vritti, that is samadhi. The mind is absorbed in that vritti, that is samadhi. Such a vividaha itiyaha. Samadhi of two types, savikalpaka, nirvikalpascha iti. Tasya lakshanamaha tatra iti. All these things we have discussed. Tatra tayoho, savikalpa nirvikalpayoho madhye. Savikalpaka api vividaha bhavati. This Granthakara has not told. Granthakara natu uttam, kintu tika akarena. Samadhi divided into two. Savikalpaka, Nirvikalpaka. Savikalpa itself is divided into two, the Tikakara says. Kim tat? Agam Brahmasmi iti Shabdanu Viddhataya Advitiye Vastuni Chittavrittehe Avasthanam iti Ekaha. One is Chittavrittehe Avasthanam. Chittavrittehe Avasthanam remaining, abiding of the Chittavritti in the Vastu, Advitiya Vastu, Brahmani. Aham Brahmasmi iti Mahavakya. Shabda anubiddhataya. Aham Brahmasmi iti, the Shabda, the Vakya, the thought, the Aham Brahmasmi iti Shabda anubiddhataya. That is not that is intertwined. Aham Brahmasmi iti, the Shabda, the words create vritti. Agam Brahmasmi iti, the jnana vritti, the jnanam. That is anuviddhataya. That is the thoughts which is intertwined. That is the mind which, there is only this thought. Aham Brahmasmi iti advitiya vastuni chittavrittehe avasthanam. Abidance of the mind in the advitiya vastu, Brahma, which is without a second, in the advitiya vastu. Angam Brahmasmi iti shabda anuviddhataya. The status of being intertwined with the shabda, the words Aham Brahmasmi. Anuviddhata, tasya bhavaha, anuviddhataya. The status of being intertwined with the shabda Aham Brahmasmi. So thoughts, and therefore there is corresponding vritti. Aham Brahmasmi vritti. That is what in the Grantha, the Acharya said, Tad Akara, Tad Akaritayaha. The vritti taking the form of. So the mind, the vritti abides. The mind abides in the vritti, the thought, Aham Brahmasmi. This is one type. Dvitiyastu, the second one, Jnatra Jnana Jnaya. Knower, knowledge, and known. Every knowledge involves this Veda, Dvaitam. Triputi Vilaya Anapekshaya. Without the merging of the differences in the form of Jnatra, Jnanam, Jnaya, the knower, knowledge, and the known. Anapekshaya, without the requirement of Aham Brahmasmi iti Shabdana Viddhataya Advitiya Vastuni. Aham Brahmasmi iti Shabde, the Vakya, the vritti, Jnana vritti. The Jnana, the vritti which is intertwined with Aham Brahmasmi iti Advitiya Vastuni Avichedena, without any Vicheda, without any gap, no intervention. Chittavrittehe avasthanam ityartaha. This is second type, Savikalpa Samadhi. So it means the first type there is Vicheda. Second type there is no Vicheda. Avicheda means continuous. Therefore, the first one, it is continual. Here it is continuous. The abidance of the mind in the vritti, which is in the form of Aham Brahmasmi, the Advitiya Vastu, continually and continuous. In terms of that, the Tikakara divides Savikalpa Samadhi into two. Continual means with gap, with interventions. That is one type. Continuously, Avichedana Rupena Chittavritte Vasthanam Vityartaha. Nanu Bhakshite api Lashunena Shantaha Vyadihi iti Nyayena Ukta Savikalpa Samadhyoho Sakala Beda Nirakaranaya प्रवर्तनात् तयोः अपि ज्ञात्रादिभेदविषयत्वेन न अद्वैतवस्तु मात्रभानं तत्र इति आशङ्क्य उत्तरमाह तत् इति। भक्षिते लशुने भक्षिते अपि न शान्तः व्याधिः। Lashuna is garlic. Consuming garlic is good for curing the disease. But Lashune Bhakshite api, even consuming Lashuna, Vyadhi has not subsided. The disease has not subsided. Iti Nyayena, by this Nyaya logic, Utta Savikalpa Samadhyoho, the Savikalpa Samadhi of two types which were told, Sakala Veda Nirakaranaya Pravartanat, Nirakaranam, dismissal, Nirakaranam of all the differences, Pravartanat, engaging into the Samadhi, Pravartanat, Tayoho api, Tayoho is the Savikalpa, Tayoho, the two types of Savikalpa Samadhi. There, Jnatra, the Jnatra, Jnana, Jnaya. Veda Vishayatvena, these differences are there. Therefore, na Advaita Vastu Matra Bhanam. Therefore, there is no Bhanam of the Advaita Vastu. Advaita Vastu Abhanam. There is Advaita Vastu Matra Bhanam na. There is no knowledge Bhanam of Bhanam awareness, knowledge of the Advaita Vastu iti. Tatra iti ashankya, if it is doubted, for that uttaram aha, answer is given. Answer is given tat iti. Tatra. Answer is given tat iti. Tat iti. Sorry, tada iti. Tada iti. Tada. Tada savikalpa samadhi anubhava kale. Tada samadhi, tada iti is referring to the drishtanta. In the Moolam, next passage, tada iti. This is the 195. Tada iti. Not taditi. Taditi plus iti means taditi. Tada iti is there. Therefore, tada iti referring to the passage 195. Remember, I told here, tad tadakara karitayaha. Here, tad, it is not tada, it is tat. Tat akara akaritayaha. Tat akara, tad referring to advitiya vastu brahma. Brahma vastu akara akaritayaha. Taking the form of the tat, the Brahma vastu, Brahma. Akara akaritayaha. So here it is tat. Here tada. So the Tikakara referring to 195. Tada iti. Because the doubt is raised, Advaita vastu matra bhanam na iti. Why? Because there are differences. Duality is there. Then how can you say non-duality? Further uttaram is aha in the passage 195 with the drishtanta, the Acharya has explained. Tada vikalpa samadhi anubhava kale. Yatra veda pratitau api advaita vastu bhasate eva. Savikalpa samadhi anubhava kale. At the time of experiencing the Savikalpa samadhi, where there is clear awareness of Jnatra Veda, Jnatra, Jnanam, Jnaya, the difference is Veda, Vikalpa. Pratito api, Advaita vastu, Asate eva. There is awareness of the knowledge of the Advaita vastu. How? Swarnamaya Kundala Dibane, Swarnabhanavat, Mridmaya Gajadibane, Mridbhanavacha, Gajadibanasya, Vacharambana Matratvavat, Yatradi Bhanasyapi, Vacharambana Matratvat, Advaitameva Vastu, Vasate Ityartaha. As we saw, when the Gaja, Mridmaya Gajadibane api, Granthakara said, Mridmaya Gajadivane api Ritbhanavat. A clay elephant is that you see the clay elephant, you see the form of the elephant. At the same time, you are aware of the material of which the elephant is made. So the content of the elephant, that also you know. So you are aware of the form as well as the content. Content is Nirta. There is Bhanam of Gaja. At the same time, there is Bhanam of the material of the Gaja, the elephant. So therefore, the names and forms do not distract you from knowing the material. It is Mritta. Similarly, with regard to Atma also, that's what the Acharya here says, Swarnamaya Kundaladi Bhane. Kundala, etc., the ornaments, Kundala, etc., they are all made of Suvarna, Suvarnamaya, Vikara of Swarna, Mayat, Vikara Arthe. They're all modifications of gold. So therefore, you are aware of the ornaments. You see the ornaments, Kundala, etc., Kankanam, Ityadi. Suvarna Bhanavat, there is Bhanam, knowledge of Suvarnam. Even though you see the Kundala, etc., names and forms, but they do not distract you from the awareness of the material of which these ornaments are made. Similarly, Mridmaya Gajadivane, there is perception of Mridmaya Gaja, elephant, which is Mridmaya made of clay. Mridbhanavacha, there is awareness of the Mrit, the material. Gajadibanasya, Vacharambana Matratta, Gajadi, etc. Awareness, the knowledge of Gaja, etc. They are not names and forms. Vacharambana Matrattvavat. Jnatradi Vanasyapi. Yata Gajadibane Mridmaya Bhanam Bhavati. Tadvat. Jnatradi Vanasyapi. When there is the Bhanam of the Triputi. Jnata, Jnatra, Gyeya, Jnanam. Vacharambana Matratva. They are Vacharambanam only. They are just Vacharambanam. Vikaro Namadeyam. Just Vacharambanam. Initiated by speech, thought. In spite of that, Advaita Vastu Bhasate eva Advaitam eva Vastu Bhasate eva ityartaha. There is awareness of the Advaita Vastu. Therefore, this Triputi Veda do not stand against appreciating the Advaita Vastu Brahma. In spite of Dvaitam, there is awareness of Advaitam. Dvaitam due to Upadi Namarupa. Namarupa do not take away the person from appreciating the, or from being aware of the self, Atma, iti, ityartaha. That is the meaning. Yada sarvam khalu idam brahma etadatmam sarvam ityadi shruti balat sarvam ahamiti giri nadi samudratmakam sarvam jagat swa abhinna sachidananda brahma iti sachidananda brahmatvena anubhuya tasya dagda pata nyayena prapanchavane api advaitam sachidananda lakshanamastu vasate eva ityartaha. Yada sarvam kallu idam brahma, and everything is Brahma. Brahma etat tadatmyamidam. Sarvam kallu idam brahma, Brahma etat tadatmyamidam chandogya. Sarvam ityadi shruti balat. Sarvam iti, everything is Brahma iti shruti balat. It is a shruti vakya, chandogya vakya, balat. Therefore, sarvam aham iti, everything is myself. Giri nadi samudratmakam sarvam. Mountain, river, ocean. So the sarvam which is in the form of sarvam means everything. Sarvam, when we say, includes everything. Atmakam sarvam. Jagat, the entire jagat. Swa abhinna, not separate from swa, oneself. and that is Brahma Satchidananda Brahmatvena Anubhuya, having known, having experienced, this is Sakshatkara. Sakshatkara Anubhuya, Anubhuti. Anubhuti is Sakshatkara. It's Anubhuti is not like perceiving an object. It is being aware of that. This Anubhuti is there in fact all the time. This Anubhuti is different from this Advaita Anubhuti. Advaita Anubhuti without demanding an object. In all other Anubhuti, Anubhava, Loka Anubhava, there are other karakas objects. But in Advaita Anubhuti, the subject is known or experienced without requiring an object. That's called Advaita Anubhuti. Even though Anubhuti, the Vakyam has, the word has the meaning of experience, sometimes misleading. But Anubhuti, we use Aproksha Anubhuti. Anubhuya, Anubhuti, Anubhava. Anubhava is without the need of an object. That is Anubhuti. Therefore, Brahmatven Anubhuya. Therefore, it is knowledge. Brahmatven, Brahma iti, Sachidananda Lakshanam Brahma iti, and that is Sva-abhinna, not different from oneself. Tasya Dagda Pata Nyayena. Dagda Pata Nyayena. I was reading yesterday, Dagda Pata, this, the word is split. I was thinking what this word is. Dagda Patani. What is Dagda Patani? Then Ayena. This is Dagda Patan Nyayena. Sometimes when the word is split, given like this, it's very difficult to understand what it is. The Nyayena, that you have to spot. Dagda Patan Nyayena. The Nyaya, the logic. Dagda Pata, the cloth which is burned. So like that, Prapancha Bhane Api. Prapancha which is burnt by knowledge. Sarvam Brahma iti, by that knowledge. The Nama Rupa doesn't matter. Like Dagda Pata. The Pata, the cloth which is burnt, has got a form. But the form, even though the form appears, Dagda Pata or Dagda Rajju, that cannot Rajju, the Dagda Rajju, the burnt rope cannot bind an object. Similarly, Prapancha Bhanayapi, the Prapancha is Dagda. Jnanagni Dagda Karmanam, Tamav Panditam Buddhaha, in Gita Bhavan says, so Jnanagni Dagda. So Dagda Pata Nyayena, Prapancha Bhanayapi, even though the Prapancha, Bhanayapi, that is awareness of the Prapancha, it means duality, but it is burnt by knowledge. Api, Advaitam, Sachidananda Lakshanam Vastu Bhasate Eva. There is Bhasanam, there is Bhasate, there is awareness. Advaita Vastu manifest itself. Manifest Sachidananda Lakshanam Vastu Bhasate Eva. There is awareness, there is knowledge of Advaita Vastu. Prapancha Bhane api Advaita Vastu. Duality, non-duality in spite of duality. Because duality is negated by knowledge. Therefore, only we say when knowledge and Advaita Jnanam is there. Advaita Jnanam doesn't require all the duality should go away. All the Jagat should vanish. In spite of Jagat, in spite of the perception of duality, there is non-duality. Because non-duality is Swarupa, it is in the Buddhi. In fact, the duality, what we perceive, if we analyze, it will reduce to non-duality only. Namarupa. Namarupa that cannot limit the Advaita Vastu. For that only this Nyaya is given. Dagda Pata Nyaya. A burnt cloth cannot be used for wearing. It is burnt. Taduktam. Then next passage. Taduktam. This is what is said. Not next passage. This is from the Gita. Taduktam Bhagavata Vasudevana Chitayam Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha iti. Vasudeva is it is Ishvaraha ityartah. Vasudevasya apatyam Brahman Vasudevaha Sri Krishnaha Ishvaraha iti artah. Vasaschaso Ishvaraha. Vasaschaso Devaha. Vasuhu vasati sarvasmin iti Vasuhu. Divyati iti Devaha, which shines. Bhati, Devaha is Bhanam, Bhati, shines. That which is in all the beings, and that which shines. That is Vasudeva. Therefore, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Chetanamba, Chetanamba. That's why Sarvamiti. Giriradi Samudratmakam Sarvam Jagat. It includes all the beings and non things also. Living things, non-living things. Chetana, Achetana. Sarvam Vasudevaha Brahma iti. Saha Mahatmeha na janati Saha Mahatma Durlabaha. Sudurlabaha. Dukyan Labhyate. Sushtu Loke. Iti. Mulakaraha api. Mulakara is Grantakaraha. Vedantasarasya Grantakaraha. Sachidananda. Sadananda. Yatindraha. मूलकारः अपि अस्मिन् अर्थे ग्रन्थान्तर सम्मतिं दर्शयति तदुक्तम् इति ग्रन्थान्तरम् इस् ग्रन्थ अन्तर अन्य ग्रन्थः ग्रन्थान्तरम् तत्पुरुष समासः मयूरविंशकादि समासः मूलकारः दट् इस् ग्रन्थकारः सम्मतिं concurrence of the other grantha also he shows to the granthakara. What is that? On the Upadesha Sahasri. The beautiful text by Adi Shankaracharya. One of the important text, Upadesha Sahasri. Taduktam iti. Om iti yat param brahma tadevaham iti anvayaha. Here, Om iti tat eva aham iti anvayaha. That is how the anvaya has to be done. Samandha to be done. Having described Dishishvarupam, Gaganopam Param, Sakat Vibhatam, etc. Then finally he says, Om iti yat param brahma, the param brahma which is Om, tat aham eva, that is myself, I am that Brahma. Kim tat Om iti param brahma, that param brahma, Omkara, which is myself. What is that? Dishishvarupam iti. That is Dishishvarupam. Dishishvarupam means one who is of the nature of seeing. Drishihi, Drishtihi, Tasyaha Swarupam, Drishtatvam, Tat Yasya Paramatma Swarupasya, Drishit Swarupam, Sakshi Swarupam Ityartaha, Sakshi, witness, the very awareness by which all knowledge is known. Drishit Swarupam, Sakshi Swarupam. Atma is the illuminator. Drishihi, Drishtihi, Tasyaha, Drishtihi, the vision, this Tasyaha Swarupam. Drishihi, Drishtihi, Tasyaha Swarupam. Drishtyaha Swarupam. Then Swarupam, Drishtatvam, Tata Yasya Paramatma Swarupasya, Tad Drishi Swarupam, Sakshi Swarupam Ityartaha. So Drishi Swarupam is Sakshi Swarupam, Atma Ityartaha. Drishihi is Drishtihi. Drishi means Drishti, sight, seeing. So, Tasyaha Swarupam Drishtehe Swarupam Drishtatvam, the status of being seen. Tat Yasya Paramatma Swarupam. That is the Swarupa of the Paramatma. So, it is a nature, the truth of seeing, not a seer. That is Paramatma Swarupa, Tadrishi Swarupam, Sakshi iti. Not just a seer. The awareness by which all knowledge, because even the seer, what we use, the word seer. Seer is the one who sees. The Atma that associated with seeing, therefore seer. Walking, walker. Talking, talker. But the one who is aware of all the actions, one who is Sakshi, is a witnesser, but without ER. That is Drishi Swarupam, Sakshi Swarupam. Witness without being a witnesser. Seer without being a seer. It means just seeing. That's why Swarupa. Atma iti. Taduktam. Bhagavata. Bhagavata is Bhagavan Krishnena Vasudevena Upadrashtanamanta cha Bharta Bhukta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti Chapiktaha Degesmin Purushah Paraha. In 18th chapter, Bhagavan says, Upadrashta Anumanta cha Bharta Bhukta Maheshwaraha iti Paramatma cha api Paramatma Chapikto Dehe Asmin Purushah Paraha. So in the 18th chapter, Bhagavan says, Upadrashta, Upadrashtru. Upadrashta is Upadrashtru. Then Anumanta, Anumantru. Bhartru, Bhoktru, Maheshwaraha. Paramatma cha api Yuktaha Asmin Dehe Purushaha is Paraha iti. In this Deha, the Purusha is Paraha iti Bhagavata Uktam. So here the Tikakara, he quotes for Dashishwarupam. Then Kim, Punaha Kim Rupam Tat. What Rupam is that? Punaha Kim Rupam Tat? Gaganopamam, which is Upama, comparable to Gagana the Akasha. It is Gagana Upama. Gagana is Upama Drishtantaha. Asya Tat Gaganopamam. Gaganam Upama Drishtantaha Yasya Tat. Gagana is the Drishtanta, it's the example, Upama, of which, that is Gaganopamam, referring to the Sakshi, Chaitanyam's Atma, Gaganopamam. Gaganavat, Nirlepa Swarupam. Nirlepa means not touched, which is untainted, unaffected, Nirlepa. Tatacha Bhagavad Vachanam. Again, Bhagavad Vachanam, Ishvara Vachanam. Yata Sarvagatam Sokshmyat Akasham Nopalipyate. Sarvatra Avastito Dehe Yatatma Nopalipyate. Yata Sarvagatam Akasha. Because it is Sukshma, Akasha is Sukshma. Because it is the first element. Therefore, it is Sukshma. Therefore, Sukshmatvad na lipyate, it is untainted, not contaminated, not polluted. Tadvat Sarvatra Avastitaha Atma Dehe na upalipyate. It is not tainted by Deha. Because Atma is Sarvatra Avastitaha, Sarvavyapi Atma, Akashavat. Not limited, Aparichinnaha. Dehe, in the Deha na lipyate, na alipyata karmani. It is not tainted. Atma Dehe na alipyata. Iti. Therefore, Gaganopamam. Yadva or Gaganopamam. Gaganavat Amurta Swarupam. Or can take Gaganopamam. Upama can be either taken as that Gagana is the Drishtanta because like Akasha it is never contaminated, or like Akasha it is Amurta, formless. The closest example we give is Akasha. In Gita also Bhagavan says, Ta Akashaha Nityam Akashavat iti, the Gita Bhagavan says. So it is the closest example. We cannot give any other example, any other Panchabhuta. Akasha is Sukshma. Akasha is Sarvavyapi. So Brahma is also. But Akasha is also a product. Therefore, it is the closest example can be given. Akasha Shariram Brahma iti Shrutehe. Akasha Shariram Brahma. Akasha is a Shariram, it's a body of Brahma. Upadhi. So there's a Vakyam, it's a Shruti Vakyam. Akasha Shariram Brahma. Yo Veda Nikit. No, sorry, not that one. From Taittiriya Upanishad one, I think. Akasha Shariram Brahma. Or footnote. It is in Taittiriya Upanishad. Then And the Pratamavali itself is there. Akashagari Brahma. Punaha kim bhutam sakrit vibhatam. Punaha kim bhutam, it is sakrit vibhatam. Kim bhutam kidrisham, it is sakrit vibhatam, it is sakrit always, vibhatam shining. Sakrit eva, sakrit ekada eva vibhatam, sarvada ekaswarupena vasamanam, chandradi prakashavat na vridikshaya sheelam ityartaha. Sarvada ekaswarupena vasamanam, always shining. Ekaswarupena, in only one form. That is, therefore the form is its swarupa. It is eternal. Ekada swarupena vasamanam. Not like Chandra, Nakshatradi, Prakasha, the shine of Chandra, etc. Because they are subject to Vriddhi, Shaya. They are subject to waxing and waning. But this, whereas the light of Prakasha, Atma Prakasha, light of Atma, there is no light of Atma. Atma is light, Anam. Ekaswarupena bhati sarvada. Tasya vriddhihi nasti, Shayam nasti, Vikaraha nasti, Chandra adivat, Prakashavat. Punaha kim rupam. Again, what rupam punaha? It is ajam, janmaragitam, not subject to janma, free from janma, ajam, janmaragitam. Ekam, nirasta sarva upadi vedam. No janma means therefore all upadi veda, the differences are nirasta, devoid of all the differences brought in by the upadi. Nirasta, devoid, free from all the differences constitute upadi. Free from upadi. Aksharam vinasha dharma ragityena kutastha swarupam ityartaha. Aksharam, the word also is that Aksharam. Ajam ekam aksharam. Vinasha dharma ragityam. Vinasha dharma is not there. Vinasha dharma is only for anatma. Vinasha dharma is not there for Aksharam Brahma Atma. Therefore it is kutastam. Kutastam, kutastha swarupam. It remains unchanging. It is kutastha swarupam. Tatacha Bhagavan Aha, again in the Gita. Sharasarvani bhutani kutastokshara uchyate. 13th chapter. Alepakam asangatvat avidyadi dosha gitam ityartaha. The word alepakam, not asangaha ityartaha. Na alepakam. Asangatvam, asangatvat, therefore free from avidyadi dosha. Therefore sangat, because of avidya there is sanga. Therefore alepakam means asangam, asangatvat. Therefore it is free from vidyadi dosha. There is no ignorance in Atma. In fact, ignorance itself is lighted up by Atma. Atma doesn't have any ignorance. Asango ayam purushaha iti Shruti Vakyam also is there. Sarvagatam, sarvatra brahmadis stavaranteshu bhuteshu gatam vyaptam. Gatam is vyaptam. Sarvatra gacchati, vyaptam, vyapnoti. Starting from Brahmaji up to Stavara. Sarveshu bhuteshu gatam vyaptam. Advayam. Sajatiya vijatiya bheda ragityena dvitiya ragitam. Advayam. The Veda differences brought about by Sajatiya vijatiya swagata also. Veda ragityam, therefore advitiyam. Advitiya ragitam, advitiyam. Then satatam, vimuktam. The last line of the Upadesha Sagasri. Satatam vimuktam. Sarvada karya karanatmaka sarva upadi vinirmuktatvena satatam ekarupam. Being free from the upadi, which is in the form of karya karanatmaka. Karya karanatmaka upadi. Karya karanatmaka sarva upadi. All the upadis which are in the form of karyam or karanam, being free from that, satatam, therefore it is satatam vimuktam ekaswarupam. Always it is, satatam is always. Vimuktam means free. Always free, nirmuktatvena. free. तथा च भागवते उक्तं बद्धो मुक्तः इति व्याख्या गुणतो मे न तु वस्तुतः इति. Price quote from Bhagavata. Baddhaha muktaha iti, the bound becomes free. Iti vyakya, iti katanam, the saying, the bound has become free. It is only gauna. It is only gunataha, secondary. Natu vasuta, not really. Because the one who is bound, really bound, cannot become really free. Therefore, the bound is not real. It is mithya. It is mithya bandha, mithya bondage. Therefore, mithya mukti also. Atma can never be bound to become free. Being free always. That is a question of bound, being bound. Therefore, it is only gunataha natu vastutaha iti. Tatacha etadarsham niratishaya anandam yat param brahma tadevaham iti bhavayataha. Nisheda pratiyogittvena tattat upadi banat tat prayuktam veda bane api advaitam vasate eva ityartha. Therefore, nitya niratishaya anandam yat param brahma. Brahma, which is of the nature of, which is nitya niratishaya anandam. Paramanandam brahma. The nitya niratishaya anandam brahma. Tat aham eva iti. Tat etadrisham. Etadrisham, what are the words? Whether this is Swarupam, Gaganopam, Param, Satat Vibhatam, Ajam, Ekaksharam, Adepakam, Sarvagatam, Advamiti, Etadrisham, Nirati Shaya. Nirati Shaya Anandam. Anandam, which is not limited. Therefore, that Param Brahma, that is myself. That is myself. Iti Nisheda Pratiyogitvena. Pratiyoga means association. Nisheda, by dismissing all the associations. All the limitations are brought by associations. Therefore, Nisheda Pratiyogitvena, all the associations, all the contradictions, they are Nisheda. Tat upadibhana, tat upadibhana, tat prayukta bhane api. Therefore, upadibhana, even when the upadi is upadeke bhanam, the knowledge of upadi is there. Prayukta Veda bhane api. The prayukta Veda bhanam, the differences caused to the upadi also, and it is there. Advaitam bhasate eva. Advaitam bhasate eva. Advaita manifest in spite of Dvaita bhanam, upadi bhanam. In spite of the consciousness of the duality, that is bhanam, knowledge of the Advaita Vastu, ityartaha. Then Nirvikalpa Samadhi starts, that we will read. So we have to start from Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Having completed Savikalpa, now Nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpaha tu
निर्विकल्पकतो
ahatu
Yatra Jnana Adi Vikalpalaya Apekshaya.
ज्ञातृ
ज्ञातृ ज्ञान
ज्ञानादि
आदि
विकल्प लय
विकल्पलय अपेक्षया
अपेक्षया
Advitiya Vastuni.
अद्वितीय
अद्वितीय
वस्तुनि
वस्तुनि
Here also, tad akara akaritayaha chittavrittehe.
तदाकार
तदाकार
आकारितायाः
आकारितायाः
चित्तवृत्तेः
चित्तवृत्तेः
Atitaram.
अतितराम्
अतितराम्
Atitaram is a taditava. We are not see, we will see. Atitaram means completely, total. Eki bhavena avasthanam.
एकीभावेन
एकीभावेन
अवस्थानम्
अवस्थानम्
Atitaram eki bhavena avasthanam. Jnatra jnana jnanadi vikalpalaya apekshaya. Here there is apeksha. Whereas in Savikalpa Samadhi, visa anapekshaya, without the need or requirement of the merging of, dissolution of Yatra Jnanadi Vikalpa. But here there is apeksha. Here there is a need. That is, the distinctions are resolved. Nirvikalpaha, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there is laya. Laya apeksha. Laya of what? Laya of Jnatra Jnanadi Vikalpa. Vikalpa, awareness of the distinction, knower, known, and the knowledge. Nirvikalpaha tu, differentiating from Savikalpa Samadhi. Two. Like Savikalpa Samadhi, Chittavirtehi Avasthanam. That is common. So Nirvikalpa Samadhi, definition if you compare Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. Savikalpaha tu, tatra Savikalpaha nama, Jnatra Jnanadi Vikalpa Laya Anapekshaya. Advitiya Vastuni. Tad Akara Akaritayaha. Chittavirtehi Avasthanam. The same definition we use here. Same words are there. Nirvikalpastu Jnatra Jnanadi Vikalpa Laya Apekshaya. There is one difference. There it is Anapeksha. Here Apeksha. Advitiya Vastuni Tadakara Akaritayaha Chittavirtehi Avasthanam. Here Atitaram Eki Bhavena Avasthanam. So, certain things are common, certain things are different. That's why two. Different from Savikalpa, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where there is Chittavritti. Chittavrittehi Atitaram Eki Bhavena Avasthanam. Here it is not said there is absence of Chittavritti. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, people think it confused. There is complete absence of obliteration of the thoughts. No. Chittavrittehi Atitaram Eki Bhavena Avasthanam. Chittavrittehi Avasthanam Eki Bhavena. Eki Bhavana means one. So Avasthanam is there. Thought is there. Chittavritti is there. Chittavritti is the form of Tat Akara Akaritayaha Chittavrittehi. The Chittavritti, the vritti has taken the form of Akara of Akaritayaha Akarita. Akara. Tadakara. Tadakara is Brahma Akara, Atma Akara. Taking the form of Brahma Akara. It is Brahma Akara vritti. There is Akandakara vritti, Atmakara vritti. Vritti is there. The vritti whose content is Brahma, Brahmakara. So Brahma vritti. So vritti is there. The pratyaya and the content of the vritti is Brahma. So vritti and vritti, the content. So therefore vritti and Brahma, vritti thought. And the thought is with regard to Brahma. Therefore, there is Dvaitam. Two things are there. Two things are there means Dvaitam. But this Dvaitam is, it is this not evident. Even though Dvaitam is there, but I am not conscious of this Dvaitam. Because there is Eki Bhavana. Chittavritti Eki Bhavana Avasthanam. Chittavritti merges in Brahma. Atitaram completely. Therefore, it is as though not there. But it is there. That is the meaning. Nirvikalpahatu. Nirvikalpastu. Atitaram Eki. Chittavrittehe Atitaram Eki Bhaven Avasthanam. Chitta vritti, which is in the form of tad akara akaritaya. Tad referring to the Advitiya Vastu Brahma. So Advitiya Vastu Akara, it means Brahmakara, Akandakara, Vritti, Atitaram, Eki Bhavana, completely become one with Advitiya Vastu Brahma. Therefore, the Vritti and the content, the Brahma, Vritti is there, and Brahma also is now. Both have become one. Both have become, both have merged. Eki Bhavana, Eki Bhavena, Avasthanam. Eki Bhavena Avasthanam, therefore, that Veda, the duality is not evident. It is not there. It is there, but it is not evident. It is the Veda, the Tripati Veda is not there. Like in Sushupti Avastha. That's what happens in Sushupti Avastha also. In Sushupti Avastha, where there is no Veda, there is no differences, there is no awareness, there is no awareness of the sleeper. Sleeper is not aware of that he is sleeping. Then it cannot be sleep. Are there any thoughts in the sleep? No. Actually, we cannot say no. It is there. In the sleep, the person doesn't perceive thoughts, but after he wakes up, he recalls. Maya sukhe nidra anubhuyata. We saw in Tattvabodha. Aham kimapi na janami. There is ignorance, and Maya sukhe nidra anubhuyata. I slept happily. So there is recalling. There is recalling of the Sushupti Anubhava. Ignorance as well as Ananda. Stula Sharira being not there. And Sukshma also, the mind is resolved. But there is Karana Shariram. Therefore, the Vritti in Karana Sharira Vritti is there, and that is because mind is not there, mind is dormant. Therefore, this Vritti is not at the conscious level, but it is there, and that's why it is recalled after wake up. Therefore, in the wake up, after you wake up, you recall. Sukhena aham asvapsam. Therefore, Ananda Vritti. Aham kimapi na janami ajnana Vritti. Both the Vrittis, they are not aware in the Sushupti, but after you wake up. So therefore, then what happened to this? This was in the Nirvikalpa Avastha in Sushupti. Therefore, Nirvikalpa, as though the divisions are not there, but divisions are there. But divisions are not recalled as it in Sushupti. So also, Nirvikalpa also, where there is Chitta Vritti, Chittam with a Vritti and Brahma. But there is Eki Bhavam, Eki Bhavana, Eki Bhaver Avasthanam, the Chitta Vritti and Brahma, Chitta, they merge, they become one. So, therefore, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, even though the author says, Jnatra Jnana Adi Vikalpalaya Apekshaya. Vikalpalaya Apekshaya. There is Apeksha is that there is a requirement, a need, Laya Apekshaya. Laya Apekshaya, Laya of Jnata, Jnanam, and Jnaya. The distinction, the form of knower knowledge and the object of knowledge. And there is Laya, there is merging into the Advitiya Vastu Brahma. And the Chitta Vritti having Chitta Vritti, Tat Akara Akaritaya Chitta Vritti Advitiya Vastuni Atitaram Eki Bhavena Avasthanam. The Chitta Vritti, the thought by which we are aware of the Vastu Brahma. How we are aware of the Vastu? By Chitta Vritti. That Vritti merges in Brahma. That Vritti merges in Brahma. Because it merges in Brahma, therefore the division is not seen, but division is there. something like a candle is there in a room, a dark room. The candle lights up the objects of the room. Now, when the doors are open, the sunlight enters. In the light of the sun, all the objects in the room are illuminated. Then what is the effect of this light of this candle? Even the light of the sun, you cannot see even the light of the candle. It is not appreciated. Similarly, Jnanavritti also loses itself, merges into Brahma. Because Brahma is like the sunlight, and the Jnanavritti is like a candlelight. Therefore, the candlelight as though merges with the sunlight. Similarly, here also, the Jnanavritti merges into Brahma. So, therefore, what remains is pure awareness. Pure awareness with no clue of this, the separation, the division caused due to the vritti, Jnanavritti. But vritti is there, it is dormant, it is not appreciated in that state. That state is nirvikalpa samadhi. Therefore, it is not a thoughtless state, but it is a very thoughtful state. Nirvikalpa samadhi, where the meditator is not conscious of the division, like in Sushupti. Sushupti is not samadhi. Sushupti also nirvikalpa. But nirvikalpa samadhi, there is awareness of the advitiya vastu. In Sushupti, there is no awareness. But in both avasthas are nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa samadhi is jagrata avasthayam eva. So, therefore, it is not Sushupti and samadhi are same. In fact, there is some wrong idea. Sushupti is equated to samadhi. Therefore, sleep yoga. By sleeping, you can, because in sleep you are one with mind is not there, therefore one with Brahma. It is not so. In samadhi only, there is complete awareness of the Advitya Vastu Brahma. There is merging of the Vritti and the Brahma, as though. And therefore, there is no awareness of the division. Of course, there is merging of the Vritti and the Brahma. Jnana Vritti resolves in the awareness of Brahma. The Vritti itself dissolves. Dissolve means not it disappears. It is not appreciated, that avastha. There remains only the pure awareness, only the consciousness. There is no even the idea of the separateness caused by the jnana vritti. See, when vritti is there, when a vritti, then vritti has got corresponding vishaya. Any vritti, apple vritti, the thought, and the apple corresponding to the vritti. Duality is similarly jnana vritti. Vritti is jadam only. The content of the vritti is Brahma. So, therefore, jnana vritti and Brahma. But both are not appreciated. So, when you are conscious of jnana vritti, then knower is there. And then jnanam is there. And jnayam, Brahma is there. Tripati Veda. But here what is the definition? Jnatra jnanadi vikalpalaya apekshaya. There is apeksha. There is apeksha, expectancy of the merging of the vikalpa, the divisions, the duality, the divisions, like knower, knowledge, and object of knowledge. That being so, therefore, Brahmavastuni tat akara akaritaya chittavrittehe atitaram, completely, totally, eki bhavena avasthanam, advaita vastu brahmani. Therefore, the vritti completely merges in Brahma. In that avastha, the vritti, jnana vritti, there is complete mergence of the jnana vritti in Brahma. There is no awareness of the differences of the vritti and Brahma. That is why eki bhavena avasthanam. And he himself Acharya gives an example. Like the example what he gave for Mrinmaya Gaja. Similarly here also. That we will see in this class, but here. Therefore, the person who is in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Because there is mergence of the vritti with Brahma, therefore he is not aware of time. Therefore he is not aware of time. He is not aware of that self-absorption also. That I am absorbed, that also he is not aware. But after he wakes up, like in Sushupti, the person is aware of that he slept happily. Similarly here also, the person after he wakes up is aware. The meditator doesn't know that I am completely absorbed. He knows only after he wakes up. After he wakes up means not from sleep. After he wakes up, after he wakes up from samadhi. So, therefore, in that sense, it is different from sleep. In the Panchadashi, we will see. Vidyanarana Muni says, gives an example. In samadhi, the person is not aware of that he is in samadhi. So, as like Sushupti, it resembles. In Sushupti, as a person is not aware of that he is in Sushupti, so too the here in Nirvikalpa Samadhi also the person is not aware of. Then what's the difference? In Sushupti, the person is ignorant. In Samadhi, the person is Jnani. As a Jnani enters, he comes out as a Jnani. Whereas an Ajnani enters in Sushupti and he comes out as an Ajnani only. He will not become a Jnani. In both avastha, there are Nirvikalpa. Both are Nirvikalpa avastha only. Both are Nirvikalpa avastha. There is no Vikalpa. There are no differences caused with the Veda, Tripati Veda. But the difference is in Sushupti, there is Karana Vritti, Karana Sharira Vritti in the form of Ajnanam and Ananda, whereas here, that is Jnana Vritti, the Jnana Vritti of Brahma, and the Vritti also resolves in Brahma. Temporarily, it is suspended. The person is completely absorbed. Therefore, the person itself is as though not there. The beautiful Drishtanta, the Acharya here, the Tikakara gives, which in fact Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also gives the same example. Like a salt doll. Salt doll, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, went to measure the depth of the ocean. The salt doll went to measure the depth of the ocean. What happened to the salt doll? Salt being salt, it merges with the ocean. Then who will come out and say the depth of the ocean? There is no one available. As a salt dissolves in the ocean water, similarly, the person is completely dissolved. That is the example, in fact, given by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. In fact, that is the example here also the author gives. Tadatu, we will see the example in the next class. A beautiful example. Tadatu jala akarita lavana-अनभ. Lavana is salt. Jalamatra avabhasavat. Advitiya vastu akarita chitta vritti anavabhasena. Advitiya vastu matram avabhasate. Once a salt is dissolved in water, it is not perceived separately. Water alone is there. Similarly, chitta vritti, when it assumes the form of Brahma, then it is what there is only Brahma alone. Vritti doesn't shine separately. So that is the Drishtanta. We will see that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी धन्यवाद गुरुजी
धन्यवादः जी।
धन्यवाद शरणजी
धन्यवादाः.